It's my smiling because that is music from his era. Well, we have been watching footage of dance sport, which was recently recognized by the International Olympic Committee as a sport. Now, joining us in the studio right now is the General Secretary of the Uganda Dance Sport Federation, Barnabas Ssebuyungo. Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what we saw there, we were a bit taken aback that it was actually in Uganda, dance sport. How long has it been going on, and what does this recognition by the International Olympic Committee mean to you?
Wow. Thank you very much. Dance has been a sport since 1921. But the breakdancing, which is now an Olympic discipline, it was recognized 2020 to take its part in Paris Olympic Games 2024. Yeah. But it was, they first bidded this one in 2016 and failed for 2020. But we had it in the Youth Olympics that were in Buenos Aires in Argentina in 2018. So we have quite a lot of history. So dance has been a sport, but the dance disciplines were like Latin and ballroom, salsa dances, Zumba. So such kind of disciplines. But breakdancing, since 1980, it has been a sport.
So what type of dancing is that? I had my director telling me B-boy, is it?
That is the discipline of breaking. B-boy is an athlete who is a boy. B stands for breaking boy. When you say B-boy, a girl cannot dance B-boy.
So a girl
is called a B-girl. Break girl.
Break girl.
A boy is a B-boy. A break boy. Self-breaking boy. But the dance itself is called break dance.
So it's like saying a footballer.
Yes.
When you call a boy kicking that's football.
A boy does.
So a B-boy.
They don't have.
That's a breaking boy.
A breaking boy is an athlete who is a boy. A breaking girl is a big girl. B stands for breaking boy, breaking girl.
So your sport is break dancing?
Yes, breaking. Break dancing. Because the sport is dance sport. Dance sport is one word. This is a sport. Dance sport. It's a sport called dance sport. It is a sport including dancing but with technicalities.
Exactly.
And its technicalities are described on the musicality, physicality, and the technicality.
Exactly, about the technicality and the strokes and scoring. How do you tell that that's a point? Because at least when I share with some of my friends who are boxers, when they hit the head, you will know maybe that's a point, according to the judge. So, but this time around, I'm seeing someone breaking, throwing their leg up. Of course, they are breaking, but when do they tell that that's a score? And of course, the techniques. Explain more about them.
For breakdance, they have three elements. That is the top rock, the down lock, and the rotation. That's a power move. Top rock, you have to dance on top. You have down locks, you have to dance on the ground. You must have a 360 rotation move of your body. So those are the three elements. So we look at also variety. So the more variety you bring in top lock, your top moves, the way you're seeing on the screen, the more variety, the creativity you bring on your down lock strokes, and also the variety you put on your body rotation.
Yeah, I would perhaps love the director to play some more videos beyond that one, because someone might think that is all that they do. And this is a flag off earlier today.
Yes.
Where are you going?
This breaking is now an Olympic sport.
Okay.
And in Olympic sport, we are going to be in Paris, so we have started our qualifying series.
Okay.
We have been representing the country in several series, so this is like the fourth time.
Okay.
So this is our continental championship that's going to take place this week in Rabat, Morocco. And also that was as a direct qualifier to Paris 2024 Olympics. So for breakdance in Olympics this year, they need 16 B-boys and 16 B-girls in the whole world.
Okay.
Okay.
So 5 slots are going to come from continental series. The 6th slot is for the host, France. Already they have automatic. Then from the series of continentals, from number 2 to number 10, they're going to be grouped to make 45 in the whole world. Each con is going to bring the top 9, the top runner, the top 9.
Okay.
Apart from the winner qualifies automatically. So those 9 from the 5 continents will have their league, like a series. They're going to be rotating the whole world.
Okay.
and the 10 will join the 6 from continents, and the 1, then there will be 16.
As you're heading to Morocco, where are you getting this money?
I was about to ask, since you seem fairly new with NCS, how, you know...
Where do you get this money? Is it NCS? Are you selling some cattle?
No.
Do you have rentals?
Not
In
that.
fact, I also asked him, as we were sitting there in the boardroom, I was wondering, how can you even afford to go to Rabat? You went to Rabat.
We have been in Paris, we have been in Seoul.
And we have not seen you cry, maybe in the news, telling us about the ordeal of money. We had the basketball president here, and he was so in that kind of somber mode. So hurt by the fact
and you
that
talk
there is
about
no
Nasa
funding.
Seronjoji. Over the past week, there's even been a more touching story involving Isaac Senyange Jr., the son of Zebra, who was murdered in Waise by people who the president said he knows.
Yes.
When he addressed the press. And this young man, who are with actually at the Commonwealth Games last year, traveled to compete for Uganda at the International Boxing Association World Championships, and he traveled on his own. Nothing, no coach, nothing. He was actually being helped by coaches from Nepal to prepare for his fight. And the manner in which he got there was to pick a phone call and call Mebo or Daniel or Ismail and say Nina Jenda Gawano kuchikira Uganda solo kumpa $5. That's how eventually Isaac Senyange Jr. collected the funds and made his way to Uzbekistan. Eventually did very well, won a fight here, then eventually lost his second fight and couldn't get in the money brackets because there was a bit of money to win the more you went higher. And this is a story of Ugandan sportsmen. It's a routine rags to riches to rags. In some cases it's rags to rags to rags. Yeah, so when I imagine a sport like dance sport, and I've shared this with Barnabas before, it's a sport that for me would thrive amongst teenagers. Because it's an experience, they love to dance. It
gives them vibe.
Yeah, when I was younger, when you watch a video of one of the greatest performances of Smooth Criminal, Michael Jackson, you almost feel like you can be him. Those kind of things. So I imagine these are young people. They are not even going to walk into a boardroom and convince one of his big companies to fund them. So I always imagine, why do you even have to get this money? Maybe the things that the young people want to do are not necessarily this. They want to twerk. I don't know that it's twerking allowed in dance sport, yeah?
No, it's not.
It's something like that. So, and this also leads into all the money because the things that are fun.
The young people love twerking.
Don't they?
All right. On the side of funds, I think you know, I've been in the sports sector of Uganda for, I think, quite long, because I've been in
You are
football.
very young to say quite long.
Yes, 14 years.
Okay.
Because I had a certain, half of it was in football side, in the administration sector. So I know, and at the time you reach at the federation level, I think the way we interpret it, you have to have a national coverage and a national circulation. So the moment I'm recognized by National Council of Sports, by my international body, but being part of Olympics, I'm also an Olympic sport, there are several areas and angles I have to tap and position myself for opportunities.
Okay.
So the colleagues who are outside there and other sports, yes, it's a challenge in our country, but I'm a sport, I'm not cross doors to go to institution. Actually, I'm the fastest growing sport.
Yeah, that's right.
Right now, out of 149 districts, I will tell you that I have membership in 122 districts of Uganda. So I'm in secondary school games.
Yeah.
I'm in university games. And if I want to reach to the audience and I want to spray my sport or to attract sponsors, if I want to say that I want 10,000 people, I can get them in a week.
True.
I've been launching in schools. 3 schools in Kampala can give me 10,000 and I convince a sponsor. So
So where did you get the money? You're not even answering the question.
What I want to
Do you
tell
have any cows?
No, I don't have any cow.
The numbers.
This is the logic I want to give to the federations. I am opening up clubs. When I move to schools, I launch clubs because I know these are the people who have numbers and facilities. Each school to register their club, because I'm soon starting up a league as dance sport. Right now I have 327 schools. Each school gives me a membership of 500,000 per year. So I can open up when I already have a calendar. So when government come to support, they are free to come to support. I'm not just talking, but for me, and I don't say that I'm not getting funds from National Council of Sports, because I know even according to my dream, the budget the government gives the sport, my sport is beyond that. If right now, if I have mandate to go to 7,000 registered secondary schools in Uganda, and each school gives me 500, and each kid can be able to contribute. Why don't I have that logic? You don't close the doors.
You know, Barnabas, you speak with the kind of authority that I needed when I was standing for Member of Parliament. Because you have quite a high-pitched voice, and you speak like a man of conviction, and I love that. When I look at your sport, I see immense potential. Immense potential. All of us here interact with a lot of young people. And this is not to say Daniel is not young or maybe, because sometimes you need to call women young. It's how it's how it works. And I see a lot of potential because you move around and see children from about primary 3, when they turn 9 or 10. This is something they would easily do.
And
you know,
soft enough.
Yeah, she's soft enough.
Yes, the kids are flexible, soft.
Yeah, flexibility
around.
perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
So I see a lot of potential, and when I see you're selling maybe what I might call a small thing, like a continental qualifier in Rabat, but there's something much bigger. There's something, but I don't know whether you guys see it. There's something much bigger that even in places where perhaps the access to music is not this kind of music that you're using, if you played that video in Bugweri, there's going to be someone who is going to pick an interest, because at that age you have a lot of adrenaline and adventure. You're going to try out anything, provided you've seen someone else do it. And we hope that some of the things that you see children do are things that are good, that when I want to copy it, it's something that is of value. So I see a lot of potential with this sport. And sometimes this is why I blame most of the federations of not doing enough. For example, I'm not seeing in Bugweri.
I am there.
Haven't.
I'm there, and I'm going to have a secondary. I'm already in the national secondary school games, ball game to and athletics. So I'm in the class of athletics. So I think you will see schools there. So when it comes to the attachment and the demographic audience of the sport, we dance on the musicality. So musicality, which means we dance on instrumental beats, not music with words or lyrics. We don't dance on songs.
And do you compose that music?
Yes, you compose the song. Even a switch of light can compose. So you have to feel it. This is musicality. You can even drum. Yokadodi, I want only the beat. Just bring the variety. It can also break. Okay?
Can it go international?
So it can go international.
Because you have to be creative.
You don't dance, it's a creativity, but you have to bring the technicality of a sport, athleticism, that speed, and the fitness level of the body. The whole body has to work. So that is a sport. So when we talk about dance sport, we're not talking about the secular dancing. This is a sport of its nature. But you,
the secular dancing is the twerking.
That one. So this is a sport. So to you, the athletes, you must be able and knowledgeable enough to interpret the beats. Actually, you have to learn music.
Yeah.
And
the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Those 8 notes of the music.
Okay.
As you're starting, you know the sound of brass, piano, and the jazz. The sounds are different.
Wow.
And how do you relate the music? So it is learning. You don't just say, I can dance. Because this is something you have to learn, because we judge it from the body, the mind, and the soul. So this is a sport, and we don't compose the other side. So on the side of our catchment, international catchment, here we are in the international university games, FISU games. We are coming up to the national level.
Yeah, this year I think they are going to be held in China.
Chengdu.
In Chengdu, China. Yeah.
We are already in the ISF games of secondary schools. But here when we compete, we stop at East Africa level. But these games of its schools go up to international level.
Yeah.
So this sport is already there. Few sports you cannot find them there. Right now we are in Olympics. So we just open our doors.
So we are in the Olympics as a sport. Will Uganda qualify for the Olympics?
Right now I want to tell you we are ranked number 1 on the continent of Africa. In the world we are number 18. Our sport has 98 countries in the world.
Yeah, in fact, you've talked of a very huge catchment. I mean, it's so big and huge, and you feel, yes, there are those numbers. But how many athletes are representing Uganda at those levels which you have mentioned?
For example, as you head to Rabat, and we need to let you go. You must be heading to the airport because his flight is actually at 2 a.m. tonight.
He has to be there 3 hours.
He has to get to the airport at some point. How many athletes are you taking to Rabat?
We are taking 5 local, and 1 has been dancing for international scene. However much have never been having the federation yet in Uganda to welcome dance as a sport. But Ugandans, when discovered this opportunity to break dancers in town, they made their way to dance for other countries, and we are trying to convince them to come back. So we have a professional from Italy joining us. So we have 6 boys who are going to represent us, and the girls are going to represent us in August in their series for girls that are going to be in Porto. Porto is a city in Portugal.
Oh, so they dance separately, not mixed up, like it's a boys.
It depends on their class and category, because quite so many girls we have, some of them, they are not reaching the age for Olympics, because by 2024 August, they want an athlete to be 16 years. But since we are in schools, and most of the athletes you see, we discover them from schools, so some of them are under that Olympic age. So, but for the boys we sent, they reach the qualification of the age.
Very quickly, would you like consider ghetto kids, would if they auditioned, would they get an automatic entry?
But
they dance.
But the ghetto kids are already in sport. You saw them all dancing on at the opening ceremony of the World Cup.
Yeah.
So,
but
do
they dance to beats or to music? Because you say
they're instrumental. Right now, you follow their music. Before, they used to dance on the secular music. But now their composition is different. That's why you saw them in PSG recently. They were doing dance at the opening in
Doha.
Opening
dinner,
so the composition, this is the future. So that's what we are integrating and transforming our dance and culture. So ghetto kids, we have dance disciplines like break dance. So ghetto kids are in the Afro. Afro dance is an African culture. So your moves must be having some origins of our African discipline. So you must do enough research, know the culture moves of our dance. So you can bring a kitaguro in the beat, but the beat must be general. But you have to bring a move that rhymes to a kitaguro, or to rakaraka, or to a bora dance, or nankasa. But so long as you pick that physical element. So to the Chigara dance, you can find muogola. So you have to go fast.
Are the
and
moves recognized internationally? Because the muogola and rakaraka could be stopping here in Uganda.
So we look at athlete. You know it as muogola. For us, it is Afro. We look at that Afro move. Afro means African culture.
So the judges are acquainted with our system and our culture?
They know the elements. I've told you, they look at the body, the mind, and the soul. So the technique part of the dance move, the physicality, and the response to the music. The rhyme to the music. So music is like our playing equipment.
No, I've seen we are going to win Olympic gold, because I would imagine if you play Chitaguro somewhere in Paris and people cannot relate.
That is the creativity.
Then people start going off their feet and jumping this high.
That is a creativity. That is a creativity.
Why not give you an Olympic gold?
And finally, you can say that why dance is a sport. If you see on that screen, that dancer who is dancing like that is given 3 rounds. Each round is 1 minute. Those are 6. Both of them, they are competing for 6 rounds. The moment you stage him together with a footballer who has been in the pitch, the body has gained the same, even the muscle. Look what the body moves and the speed move. But actually, in some games, even some players, they don't even run up to the end of the minutes of the game. But this is a move whereby you have to sprint in just 30 seconds. The whole joints, the hands, the body, the head have to work together. So that's why it makes dance as a sport. So finally, for us, we are in the category of the artistic games. Artistic games, so I find games like gymnastics. So we are in the artistic class.
You know, I've said on this show severally that one of my best sports at the Olympics is artistic swimming. I can sit for several hours.
Swimming, diving.
Not diving. I'm very specific. When those ladies show up, you know, they have all this painting and color. It's amazing. It's amazing. I always look at them and I imagine this makeup has taken about 6 hours. Not a bit like how Mabel is here, and then they come in, and it's amazing watching them at those kind of games.
Okay. As we let you go, any final word?
To the audience and the public, dance is a sport, and as a federation, we are working closely, especially with the new curriculum, the competent-based curriculum. So we have physical education as a compulsory subject to the lower curriculum, and dance and aerobics together with National Cultural Development Center. We help them to design that area, because this is a sport that can be anywhere. Even here, we just arrange the room and start the dance.
We expected
a classroom turns into a dance arena.
So when you
we expected some moves today.
We only needed the athlete and the floor. So,
which we have here.
and I think
the shoes probably.
The athlete is Mabel, the floor is right here.
athlete is Mabel, the floor is here. And I understand that every house, I think everybody can dance because every house, every car, there is music.
I wish our director could play another video of those dancers.
They showed the dancers as
with the music.
Yeah.
Maybe you, as we go to break, Mr. Director, if you can play one so that we can actually hear what this musicality is that Barnabas has been telling us. But otherwise, we NTV Sport Nights will return after this.
On our souls, a mouth full of gold on drummers roll. Wherever we are, you can feel the prowess. Whenever we do, yo, we turn the style up. I'ma just there's a crowd.